All right, we are back on a SNES Classic Wednesday stream, and we are starting a brand new gameplay. And you see it right there highlighted, Final Fantasy III, which is actually Final Fantasy VI. So in case you may know, you may not know, but in case you don't know, when Final Fantasy III came out in North America, it was actually Final Fantasy VI. It was the sixth game in the series. But it was the third game released in North America, so it was called Final Fantasy III. And it is an all-time great. One of my absolute top 5 favorite games of all time. I was just the right age when this came out to really it just blew me away. This is one of the first video games that really sucked me in and just made me care about the story so much and just blew my mind about how in-depth a video game could be with its story, with its gameplay, with its music. We'll just let the intro play here for a little bit. There are a few things I want to address in this one. Of course, last week we finished Chrono Trigger. Was the first game we played in the SNES Classic series that we started. Every Wednesday we're going to be playing the best games from the Super Nintendo. And I started with Chrono Trigger, which is another one of my top 5 all-time favorite games. But I played this before I played Chrono Trigger. Of course, this came out before Chrono Trigger. And this was the game that made me absolutely fall in love with Final Fantasy. I had played Final Fantasy II, which is actually 4, before this, and I liked it. But I loved this game. So there's a couple things that we're going to be doing in this one. We are not going to be abusing anything like Vanish Doom to make the game just... It makes most bosses in the games absolutely trivial. If you don't know about that, there's a... Besides, it's not a glitch. That's just what would you say? The way the programmers programmed the game. It's an unintentional way of easily defeating anything. I might show it off once just to show you how abusive it can be, and you can just trivialize any enemy in the game. You cast a spell called Vanish on them, and then you cast a spell called Doom on them, and it's an instant victory. Because Vanish lowers magic evasion to nothing. You can't, once you're invisible, once you've been cast Vanish on you, you cannot dodge any magic spells. And so Doom automatically then has a 100% hit rate, and will absolutely, it takes out everything in the game other than the final boss. So... Basically, there may be a few other enemies you can't vanish, but other than the final boss, you can vanish Doom every enemy in this game and just make this game not even a challenge at all. It's not the hardest Final Fantasy, but it's not the easiest by far either. So we're getting to see the opening scene here while I talk a little bit about it. And so another thing we're going to be doing is I'm only going to be letting certain characters learn magic, just to add another little, it's not like a challenge run, but just to add a little more challenge to the game, because I think the game becomes too easy late game when every character in your party can learn magic. You can just learn every spell by every person. So we're only going to be learning magic from a select number of characters, 4 characters to be exact, and that would be Terra, Celes, Celeste. I like Celeste better as a pronunciation for her. So Terra, Celeste, Strago, and Realm are the only characters we're going to be letting use magic at all in this game. And they are the characters that naturally have magic when you first get them. They already can use magic. And not just have to learn them from the Espers, which we'll be getting into all that as we play through the game. So I guess without any further lead up, or any further ado, let's go ahead and get into this one. Also, I'm going to be reading probably all the dialogue in this game. This is not, I wouldn't say it's like a perfect translation or even a great translation, but it's fun. they Woosley did a good job on this game in making the dialogue fun and entertaining and enjoyable. So it may not be a great translation, but it's a fun translation, and it's definitely not the worst. There's a lot of bad translations in video games, and this one is not bad at all, really. So here we go. It just started a new game because we haven't played this game before, but I want to start over and read all the dialogue, all the text, and we'll be going over that again. So yeah. Here we go. One of my all-time favorite games. Final Fantasy 3, Final Fantasy 6, whatever you want to call it. It's this one. It's the best one. Long ago, the War of the Magi reduced the world to scorched wasteland, and magic simply ceased to exist. Thousand years have passed. Iron, gunpowder, and steam engines have been rediscovered, and high technology reigns. But there are some who would enslave the world by reviving the dread, destructive force known as magic. Can it be that those in power are on the verge of repeating a senseless and deadly mistake? There's the town. Hard to believe an Esper had been found intact there, 1,000 years after the War of the Magi. Think it's still alive? Probably, judging from the urgency of our orders. And this woman, this sorcerer, why is she here? I heard she fried 50 of our Magitech armored soldiers in under 3 minutes. Not to worry. The slave crown's on her head. Robs her of all conscious thought. She'll follow orders. We'll approach from the east. Move out! So there are reoccurring Vixen Wedge characters, but it's actually Biggs and Wedge, but a mistranslation, or the translation decision to change his name to Vix instead of Biggs. No biggie. And an interesting choice to have a credit roll like this at the beginning of the game. I love this credit roll here. The man, the myth, the legend, Uematsu-san. And what is probably arguably one of his best pieces of work here in this game. This game is an incredible soundtrack. Personally, for me, my favorite Final Fantasy soundtracks are 6, 7, and 8, and 9 in no particular order. I think that was just the absolute pinnacle of Uematsu's talent. I don't know, I'd probably say 8 is maybe the best, but this is not, 7 and 6 are not far behind those. I think this is the game where he really hit his peak, though. This is... Every track in this game just has such character and feel to it. It fits the game perfectly, in my mind. It fits the atmosphere and the emotions of the game absolutely perfectly. And not only fits them, but adds to them and enhances them. So here we're going through a snowy field, and we're on our way to get something called an Esper from this town here, this snowy mountain town. And Ted Woosley, who did a fantastic job translating this game, no matter what anybody tells you. Let's put her on point. No sense taking any risk. Forward! Alright, so we're controlling these characters now. This is us in control, and we're invading this little town here. This mountain, snowy mountain town. Imperial Magitech armor? Not even Narshe is safe anymore. Alright, so we got our Magitech commands here. For some reason, this girl we have here, whose name is question marks, we don't know who she is. She's obviously being controlled, like they said at the beginning, by some type of hypno crown that controls her actions. So she's just basically a mindless slave to the invading force here. Which is actually a pretty small invading force, just 3 soldiers, but they have Magitech armor, so they're very powerful. Narshe's freedom depends on us. Attack! The dogs first, though. Yeah, we can't attack with the dogs. That would be, we might actually win. Spoiler alert. No, they wouldn't. They wouldn't win no matter what. No matter how they attack. And I like how they did this at the beginning of the game, giving you the Magitech armor to let you see just how overpowered the Empire is versus all the other nations. And they're just known as the Empire. I mean, no reason to be fancy. Let's just call it what it is. They're an empire. We're calling them the Empire. Of course, they really only have control at this point of basically an island and a little bit of the mainland too. And we'll learn more about that, what the Empire is doing, and why they're invading other countries and taking their resources, like their Esper here, which we'll learn more about too. We got them trapped. Get them! Sorry, almost forgot to read that. And then pincer attacks, like most Final Fantasy games, you know, include some type of pincer attack or back attack. This one has pincer attacks. It also has attacks where you can pincer the enemies too, so that's also a lot of fun. And I do believe this was the first game in the series that had the, not only had pincer attacks, but had the ability for you to pincer the enemy as well. Everybody gaining a level. Alright, so we made it to the end of this screen, so we're going to go ahead and do some menuing here, because there's also, there's a lot of good things we can do here. Also, active and wait battle mode. The battle speed in this game pretty much is just the difficulty level of the game, because all it controls is how fast the enemy takes a turn, right? It doesn't control how fast your gauge fills up. For some reason in this game, the battle speed literally only affects the enemy. So for the hardest challenge, turn it up to 1. The fastest speed for an easier gameplay experience, turn it down to 6. We're going to turn it all the way up to 1. Message speed, actually, we'll just leave on 3. 3 is a good, decent message speed. And then they have, they give you a few options on how you wanted the menus to go. I like the window, you know, but there's also a short command, which I don't think I've ever used. I've used it once to see how it was, and I was like, I like the window command better. The gauge, this is our ATB gauge, on or off. On, I don't know why you would want to turn it off. Unless you just didn't want to know who was getting their turns or whatever. I guess for an added challenge, maybe? I don't know. I don't think it would be that much more difficult. We want to set it to memory. And we want to change, not our magic order. I do like the healing attack effect magic order. I mean, I guess you could put attack on top and healing on secondary. But yeah, I'm used to this order, the default order. Now, the cool part of this. different window, different default windows they give you. Oh yes, and the chocobo window. I like the fact that they really gave you a lot of customization options here with the actual window. One of my favorites is just this one. It's pretty simple, but yet it's a nice design. It's better than just the plain blue, right? I like the blue background though. And you can change the color of the font as well, you know, from white to any other color you want to. Depending on what color of the background, you may want to change the color of the font. But we'll just go with this. To me, this is one of the most pleasant and easy on the eyes, is to go with the, kind of looks like water, or maybe even like rock or some type of rock. But yeah, I like this one. It still has the old school blue, but with a little bit of design. We must defend the mines! They got monsters fighting with them too. Getting lucky that they're not hitting Vix. Oh, he only took 1 damage, I think. Maybe he's getting a little low on HP, so we can use Heal Force. You know, it's just like a free cure. Costs no MP, and he does a lot of healing. We'll have him go ahead and heal his buddy Wedge there too. How many games do you get to start off as the bad guy, right? You get to start off as a group of Imperial soldiers invading a small mining town in the mountains. According to our source, the frozen Esper was found in a new mine shaft. Maybe it's this one. And I'm not going to read all the dialogue verbatim. I'm probably even going to ad-lib a little bit, just to make it more interesting. I mean, just reading it verbatim, what fun is in that? I'm going to try to kind of get, for a lot of the characters, especially the ones I like the most, I'm going to kind of get into character and really have fun with it. An eerie glow surrounds you. What info? You want info about save points? Nah. I'll tell you about save points. They're save points. If you've ever played pretty much any RPG game, you can save, you can use tents, which we don't have. But you can heal, rest, save the game. Pretty self-explanatory save points there. Got pincered by these rats here. They're not just any rats, they're were-rats. So does that mean they were like people at one time and they turned into rats? That's a pretty terrifying thought, really. Alright, and our girl here comes with magic like they said earlier, and she can use fire and cure to start out with. So, cure the whole party, why not? Magitech is pretty much free magic with these machines. Guess we can't get in. I'll handle this. Stand back. We won't hand over the Esper! Welk, get them! Hold it! Think back to our briefing. What about it? Do you recall hearing about a monster that eats lightning? And stores the energy in its shell? Right, so whatever you do, don't attack the shell. Alright already. So yeah, don't attack the shell. Don't attack the shell. Don't attack the shell with lightning either. attack back with lightning. So we're not going to do that. We're not going to be attacking the shell. We're going to be attacking its face. Because look, you can target the shell. You don't want to do that. Trust me. We just keep firing a missile at him. Doing so much damage that missile does. Fire beam's good enough. Oh crap, we're about to get to see what happens when you attack the shell. Because that queued up an attack. And now he disappears. The head will disappear inside the shell. You attack the shell and this is what happens. Yeah. I mean, it's not the worst thing, but very similar if you're familiar with Final Fantasy VII to the Guard Scorpion fight. You know, attack when the tail is up kind of thing. Attack when the tail is up, but don't counterattack. This one explains it a lot better, though, right? It doesn't make you think you're supposed to attack. It says, it explicitly says, do not attack the shell. And he doesn't have much left now. We got him on the ropes. Boss fight number 1. Well done. And we get a potion. But yeah, your basic tutorial boss fight, first boss fight of the game. Letting you know that there are going to be, you know, gimmicks to some bosses. What's weird though is I think a lot of the time Final Fantasy, you know, will set you up with that tutorial boss fight and you're like, oh, boss fights are going to have gimmicks. And then a lot of the boss fights don't have gimmicks. Only a few of them do. You know, whatever. I mean, this one does have its share of boss fights with gimmicks, but I think Final Fantasy V before this one might have had more gimmicky boss fights that were pretty fun and kind of newbie traps. This is the Frozen Esper. Hey, what's the matter? Do you know something we don't? The frozen creature began emitting an eerie light. And that it is. This is a very eerie part. What is this thing getting frozen in ice? Where's that light coming from? Whoa! Hey, Wedge, where are you? What's happening? What is going on? What a way to start a game. Mystery, intrigue. Setting up for you to go, I want to know more about this world. What's going on with this world? Why? What the heck just happened? So here we are. We're in bed. We're still a mysterious girl without a name, and some guy here is just staring at us. Probably just waiting for us to hopefully wake up eventually, so we don't have to be sleeping in his bed. Hey, I want my bed back. That's what I was looking for. Kapow! That's what happened in that last fight. Well, it wasn't really a fight. It was the Esper Kapow and the whole party. All right. Where am I? Whoa! And I only just removed the crown. Good name. You got a nice name there, sir. Old man. He doesn't look that old to me. Maybe middle-aged man? I don't know. Head hurts. Easy. This is a slave crown. The others had complete control over you while you were wearing it. I can't remember a thing. Don't worry, it'll all come back to you. In time, that is. A mysterious young woman, controlled by the Empire and born with the gift of magic. Her name is Terra. And for some reason in this game, when you name somebody, the name comes in all caps. Whereas most people in this game that you don't names are not like that. So when I was younger, on subsequent playthroughs after my first one, I used to rename them with like this. And put, not put their name in all caps. So I think I'm going to do that for this playthrough, just as a, hey look, you can do this. We'll be keeping the canon names there for everybody. My name is Terra. And it kind of sets people, look, his name up here, old man, all in caps. But a lot of the names, like when you talk about people in the text, are not in all caps. It's just a little thing. But we'll go with it. We'll go with the not putting the character's name in all caps. Impressive! I've never heard of anyone recovering this fast. Uh-oh. The jig is up. They found us. So yeah, these are the soldiers of the town we're in, the Narshe soldiers. Open up! Give us back the girl in the Empire's Magitech armor! Yeah, she's wanted now, right? She just attacked the town, killed a few soldiers, tried to steal the Esper, and ended up getting nuked herself. Open this door, we want that girl. She's an officer of the Empire. Empire? Magitech armor? Look, I have to get you out of here. I don't have time to explain. Over here. Make your way out through the mines. I'll keep the brutes occupied. Alright, thank you for helping us, old man. Like, I wonder what caused this old man, quote unquote, to help us. She's up there! I wonder what it is that the reason he's helping us. I mean, obviously he knows that we were not doing what we were doing under our own volition, that we were being controlled by the Imperial soldiers. But what makes him think, that we're worthy of helping, Because the local soldiers, the local military obviously wants us because we were involved in attacking the city. Makes sense. Well, and I'll probably just be picking up every treasure chest along the way, regardless if it is a useful item or not. Why not? More fun. We'll walk around, we'll fight battles. We'll try not to, fight too many battles and over level, but still want the game to be challenging. And like I said, this is one of our 4 different characters we'll actually be letting use magic. This is Terra. And we got a Phoenix now, which revives. Like it does in every Final Fantasy game that has a Phoenix on it. It's what it does. It brings you back to life once you KO. I just run from this one. Or not. We're gonna get a turn. Take him out. Oh, he counterattacked himself. Okay, so those guys, when you attack them, on as a final attack, counterattack, they'll throw a wrench at you. But he threw the wrench at himself? Have I ever seen that before? I don't think I've ever seen that before. Was it? How did that happen? I've never ever seen that happen before. It's very interesting. A sleeping bag. A sleeping bag's like a tent, but only for one person. And tents, of course, restore HP and MP full. In this game. At least some games, the tents didn't restore you full, it just restored some HP and MP. But this game, it restores you to full. And there are no cabins, just tents. Tents do what cabins did in some of the older games. Oh crap, they got us surrounded. Ah! The floor falls out from under us and splat. I love the little touch of the blurry screen there to show that, she's hit her head. She's going unconscious. Good stuff. And when she goes unconscious, she's having a flashback.
My sweet little magic user. Wee! With this slave crown, I'll practically own you.
I gotta really get into character for Kefka. I mean, he's one of the greatest villains of all time in any video game. I mean, saying he's a villain is not a spoiler. I don't think we can see in the first scene we meet him in. He is very villainous. I mean, he even has the villain laugh. Look.
Good.
Kind of like the Joker. I think he kind of sounds like, like...
Burn everything up, or burn up everything.
Yeah. One of the you love to hate villains. One of the best you love to hate villains of all time.
We stand on the brink of a major breakthrough. In the days to come, we'll witness the total revival of magic. It is our destiny, and ours alone, to take this mystic force and claim what is rightfully ours. With our newfound power, nothing can stand in our way. Hooray! Long live Emperor Gaston!
It's also, there were two other figures there that we've yet to learn, but we will learn more about them in the days to come as we play through the game. Actually, we're going to meet at least one of them today. Took you long enough. How goes the robbing and plundering trade? Great theme song for this character here, too. He's a treasure hunter and trail-worn traveler, searching the world over for relics of the past. And his name is Locke. Yeah, I like changing the names to not be in all caps, just to be different. I prefer the term treasure hunter. Ha! Semantic nonsense. There is a huge difference. Anyway, were you the one who sent for me? Yeah, there's a girl I'd like you to meet. This better not have anything to do with that Magitech riding Imperial Witch. Imperial troops are pursuing her even as we speak. This town is no match for the Empire. Our independence can only be assured if we join forces with the Returners, an underground resistance movement. That girl wasn't responsible for her actions. We must get her to understand our dilemma. All right. I think we'd better help her. Agreed. Make your way first to Figaro and talk to the king. Figaro. No, it's definitely Figaro, I guess, but I will say Figaro a lot because when I was a kid, that's how I pronounced it. But I know it's Figaro. Now we gotcha. Ah, yikes. All right, so we're going to get introduced to this little mechanic in the game, which we'll see a handful of times throughout the game, where we'll be controlling more than one party, which is very interesting. I love this little battle mechanic they added into the game. It's a nice little switch up. Wonderful. There's a bunch of them. Kaboom! Moogles! Moogles make a return in this game from Final Fantasy V. They were also in, and I believe Final Fantasy, the original 3,
Also had Moogles. Was the first game with Moogles. But yeah, here we go. Moogles? Are you saying you want to help me? Kaboo! Kaboo, kaboo! Use us to save Terra from the guards! Kaboo! Need more information? We got this. So yeah, there's a lot of tutorials in this game, and thank goodness they allow you to skip them. It is really annoying in games when they have tutorials and you can't skip them, because in subsequent playthroughs you already know you don't need to see the tutorial again, but yet you just have to sit and watch it over and over again every time you play the game. And which is weird, they did it in this one, but in subsequent Final Fantasies after this one, they stopped letting you skip the tutorials. I guess in Final Fantasy VII, I think they let you skip some of the tutorials. You have the option of doing them or not. But in Final Fantasy VIII, yeah. Final Fantasy VIII, that's all I need to say. Final Fantasy VIII, what a... Anyways, we're playing 6. Oh, right, let's take these guys out. And the Moogles are very helpful. Some of them have long-range weapons, and if you want to, you can put them in the back row. There's really no need. These fights are very basic and easy. You can even try to steal with Locke here, because he's the thief class. So he's a thief class, and he can steal. And by moving our, changing our names to all lowercase, it kind of stands out here who is a main character and who's a side character. The Moogle tradition, you have to have your name in all caps. That's just the way Moogles do it. And leading this group of fine Moogles is a special Moogle named Mog. Mastered a new dance. What? So yeah, Mog's an interesting character. He can dance, and his dances, he's like the dancer class, you know. In Final Fantasy games, all his dances do so. He's kind of actually like a dancer class and a geomancer mixed into one, because all his dances are, you know, like elemental based or really land based. Like it's based on what area you're in. And they're more likely to succeed if you use the dance that corresponds with the area that you're in. So like, we're in a cave. I'll show you here. We'll use his dance command. Dusk Requiem. You're in a cave, and it uses cave abilities. Cave in. It drops rocks on it. And there's one for every type of background. Sunny field, water, snow, fire, you name it. Whatever the background you're fighting in, he's got a dance for it. Indoors, there's one that's just for indoors, like fighting in towns. It's pretty cool. Mog is an awesome character. And I mean, spoiler alert, we're going to be, you know, getting Mog into our party at some point. I mean, he has the unique dance command. You don't think he wasn't going to join our party at some point? Alright, so let's see. Let's have Locke's party take on the Commando. Or the Marshal, sorry. And there's a reason I want to do it that way, because the Marshal has something good to steal. That I couldn't steal. And stealing in this game, like most Final Fantasy games, can be quite frustrating. No, don't take out the Marshal yet. We gotta steal something from him. That's the life. An upgraded weapon for Locke there. Whoop! He took out Coopop. You don't take out Coopop! Avenge Coopop! Oh, let me attack. You don't take out Coopop. And if we get wiped out, it's no big deal. We can just use one of our other parties to come down here and fight this guy. So yeah, there's no pressure in even winning this. I just wanted to steal the Mithril Dagger. He's probably going to take us out now. Yeah. We're gonna go down to defeat to this Marshall guy. Ow. Locke, you were annihilated. Alright, so he takes us out, no biggie. We're just gonna take Monkscrew down here to attack him. We're just gonna send wave after wave until he finally dies. I don't think there is any way to game over here. I think literally you can just keep retrying this fight with each party over and over again until you win. Oh, it didn't hit him either. Okay, so that snare ability is an insta-death ability that Mog can do in his dances. And it literally is insta-death. Like, and it can actually work on this enemy. There's a I'm sure there's a percentage chance of it actually working. So, but yeah, you can actually insta-death this guy and make this fight ruined. Ow! Yeah, but Cave-In does so much damage too. And Cave-In's a percentage based, like a gravity attack. It does some type of I'm not exactly sure what percentage, but it does a percentage of their overall HP. Or, not their total HP, but their current HP. Thanks, Moogles. We're in your debt. Yeah, can't thank the Moogles enough for that. They saved our butts there. Locke would have never been able to take out that guy on his own. He couldn't even take out that guy with 3 other Moogles helping him. I think this switch will open a secret passage. So we're gonna sneak out of town through this secret passage. You back with us now. You saved me. Save your thanks for the Moogles. I can't remember anything past my present. You have amnesia. Second game in a row where we start with a character in with amnesia in the Final Fantasy series. A man said my memory would come back. Give it time. You're safe with me. I give you my word. I won't leave you until your memory returns. By the way, this secret entrance might be useful someday. Don't forget about it. Locke ain't lying either. We definitely don't want to forget about this secret passage. It's hard to forget about, though. I mean, it's right at the start of the game. It kind of sticks with you that you take a secret passage through the cave out of the town. We don't want to leave town just yet because this is the classroom for beginners. Here we answer your questions about the world. Think of us as your advisors. Now, how nice of you guys. We got kicked out of town. We're being chased by the rest of the town. But this classroom here, they're like, we're scholars. We don't give a crap about what the military's doing. We do our own thing. This is water from a recovery spring. It'll restore your HP and MP. Such springs are located throughout the world. And that is true. There are recovery springs located throughout the world. And we're not going to talk to every single person here. It's just, there's a lot of things they say that's just for new players. And if you'd like to play the game and you want to talk to each one of them, I do recommend it actually, because it's fun to go around and talk to every NPC the first time you play a game. But not all the information they have to say is very pertinent. So anyways, we had a monster in a box. We killed him. It says, ha! Sometimes monsters lurk inside of treasure chests. And sometimes items are inside of pots, like this one. Tincture. Valuables are often hidden pots, such as this one. So yep, this is just the tutorial area. This is a save point. And we already learned about save points, but yeah, thank you. And here, each guy's going to tell you something about, let's just, an example. See, this is usually just about how battles work and what the commands are and what they do. And status elements, they'll explain, which Final Fantasy's famous for, and when I say Final Fantasy, I mean the entire series. Almost every game, there's a status element that doesn't work the way it's intended. This game is no different. Unfortunately, blind does not work in this game at all. It just doesn't work. It was programmed wrong somehow, and the blind status doesn't do anything except give you cool sunglasses. And we'll be seeing that. It's like the Thug Life sunglasses. I would just wish they came down out of the sky and fell onto your face. That would just be the ultimate meme. Ultimate meme. It was like the meme before the meme. This game knew about the Thug Life sunglasses a couple decades before it became a meme. Alright. And don't worry, we'll be seeing that. So relics are like accessories you could equip that all have special abilities that do, various different things. We'll be getting those as we go. Of course, the equip screen. And we want to go ahead and equip that Mithril Dagger to lock here. And we can go ahead and put Terra in the back row if we want to, because she's our magic user. She already has a Mithril Knife equipped. And then look at her skills. She has magic. And she will be one of the only one of 4 people we will be allowing to have magic. Will be, because you can't do anything about her having magic. So you can't do a magicless playthrough of the game where you can just not use her magic. But where's the fun in that? I mean, it's a Final Fantasy game. You gotta use magic. So we're just gonna designate certain people to have magic, and Terra's gonna be our first magic user. She just has Cure and Fire right now, but she'll learn more as she levels up. Go into our item menu, and I love the item menus in this game. The menus in general, I should say, in this game are just so responsive and just no lag whatsoever. Just bam, bam, you hit the button, action happens. That's why I can't stand to play any other version of this game other than the original. Because they all have menu lag, menu load times. Yeah, it's weird that a game that came out in 1994 has 0 lag in the menus, and the reproductions of the game that came out all have terrible menu load times and lag. It's one of those things. Leafer. And actually, you know what? These enemies are so easy. You could honestly put both people in the back row and just have lock steal. I think I'll actually do that just to show. Or you know what? We could ban back row for this game to make it, an added challenge. Whatever. We won't. We're already making it a little bit of extra challenge by only having magic used by certain party members. And here we are. The castle in the desert. Figaro Castle. Wait! Hey! Oh, it's you. Proceed. So they know us here, obviously. Locke's a popular guy. Coming up, it's one of my favorite characters in the game. I like Locke. He's cool, but I like Locke's story better than Locke's character. The interesting characters to me are, this is one of them, and then there's another one who looks an awful lot like this guy that we're going to be learning about later too. You mean this young woman? Who do you think you are? Oh, sorry. How rude of me to turn my back on a lady. The young king of Figaro Castle, allied to the Empire, and a master designer of machinery. Edgar. And it goes without saying, every track in this game is absolutely fantastic. Even just simple tracks like this one just really add that character and feel to the game. I'm Edgar, King of Figaro. Surprise someone like me knows a king? Yeah, actually I am. Talk to you later. So, you're an Imperial soldier. No problem. Figaro and the Empire are allies. Please, relax while you're here. It's not in my blood to harm a lady. Look, Why are you helping me? Is it because of my abilities? I'll give you 3 reasons. First of all, your beauty has captivated me. Second of all, I'm dying to know if I'm your type. I guess your abilities would be a distant third. What's with you anyway? Guess my technique's getting a bit rusty. I suppose a normal girl would have found him dashing, but I'm hardly normal. So now we can explore the castle, and if we want to, can we go up through here? No, that's not. No, we can't go through there, but we can go up and around and up here. And we'll find a treasure chest containing the Phoenix Down. And an interesting choice in this game to spell Phoenix Down with an F. I think it may be due to character limitations. They didn't want to add. I don't know. Say that, but then look at auto crossbow. Auto crossbow's long as heck with no space in it. So I don't know. I don't know why they chose the F instead of the PH for Phoenix Down. Whatever. Doesn't ruin the game. Doesn't really change it at all. We get a nice view here at the top of the castle. There's some ventilation fans. Very high tech for a medieval castle, right? To have some ventilation fans like that. I wonder what they're for. Rolling out the red carpet, like any castle should, having that red carpet there. I absolutely love Figaro. One of the coolest castles in any Final Fantasy game. Any game in general, for that matter. And we can go into these rooms here. They have treasure chests here. These are also, we can talk to these guys. We could buy items. We don't really want to right now. There's no reason to. Yeah, they got things for sale. We'll be coming back to them later, talking more about what they got for sale. So, we literally have free reign of the entire castle. We can just go anywhere. Figaro and the Empire are allies. Interesting. So Figaro and the Empire are allies. I guess that's why he doesn't mind helping us. Though Edgar showers his attentions on women, most are too smart to pay any attention to them. Ha ha! Burn! He recently tried to hit on the High Priestess. Surely he's talked to you. Yeah, he did. That Edgar.